most people think that being calm and at ease in any situation or in extreme situations, I've been in very extreme situations, maybe not as extreme as some, but relative to the average person, some quite extreme situations. And I've been in these situations when I was in ignorance, deep in ignorance, and also when I've not been in ignorance. And I want to share with you the different perspectives and why people completely mistake being at peace and being calm with having no form of excitation. People think that you have to be completely, you could say, like almost like emotionless or not feeling anything. And what that actually means is if we're in a situation and we don't feel anything, what's happened is that we've actually, in terms of fight or flight, we've flown. Instead of fighted, we've flown. And most people associate that with being calm. I had a situation where this person did this thing and I just didn't feel anything. It's the emotional equivalent of saying someone told me that they loved me and I, had I'm the best person ever, and I didn't feel anything. It's like if someone loves you and shows you gratitude and you don't feel anything, it's like you're emotionally numb. You're not just like humble. You're just emotionally numb. So like if someone, and when I say this, I mean in situations like where people are expressing genuine love to you and you just don't feel anything, or if someone dies and you just don't feel anything, it's just emotional numbness. In the same way that we don't want emotional numbness when when there's actual serious situations going on and things like that in life. It's really interesting because if you understand this perspective, it's going to change your relationship to your emotions completely. When there's an earthquake, depending on the severity of the earthquake, you either want to run or stay in bed, right? So tiny baby earthquake, not enough that the alarm goes off and it's unnoticed, and you just go back to sleep, right? That was what happened to me once in Mexico. At first I was kind of freaked out because I didn't know earthquakes come to Mexico City, and all of a sudden the kitchen starts shaking, like it looks almost like a liquid, and I'm like, I thought I was having a stroke. I thought I was having some kind of like stroke or heart attack. And then I look outside and all the balls are moving and I'm like, what is going on? And then all of a sudden an alarm goes off and I'm like, oh, this must be like an earthquake or something. And I was a bit nervous about that. I was like, is the building going to crash down? Do I need to run? Like, what's the vibe? And I look outside and everyone's just chilling. Everyone's just like, yeah. They're just like business as usual. So then I'm like, oh, it must be fine. So I go outside and I'm like, so what's going on? Like, does this happen often? Like, yeah, all the time. No one told you? Yeah, it happens all the time. So I treated earthquakes then as nothing. Like, oh, it happens all the time. It's just like a bit of rain. And then at the time, my girlfriend calls me in absolute panic. She is like completely freaking out because she was in a very serious earthquake before where people died in her university, and calls me and she's completely like hyperventilating. Are you okay? What's going on? Are you okay? Where are you? What are you doing? And I'm like, and I'm feeling it. I'm getting nervous too. I'm like, whoa, what is going on? Everything's fine. I was like, everyone's having a cup of tea outside, chilling. Like, what's going on? Is it different for you? She's like, no, just making sure you're safe, The next earthquake comes, and I go outside and it's fine. The earthquake comes when I was in my flat one day, and I just went back to sleep. I figured, like, I don't see any crashed buildings around me, I don't see anything falling down or like any remains. So there must have been earthquakes for the past few decades and nothing's happened. So I may as well just go back to bed. And in bed one time, and this was a serious earthquake that I literally was flung out of bed. Like, I can't explain. If I just remember this motion of just being pushed, and the whole wardrobe door fell off. So like when you're asleep, that sun has just gone crazy bright. All the clouds have moved, as someone previously commented on my video. So I commented, like, I said, like, oh, the sun's come out. It's like, more accurately, the clouds have moved. All right, mate. All right. I don't care that much. So we get slung out of bed and the door falls off. And, you know, at that stage, and you're half asleep, you think like the whole building's coming down. And I feel fear. I feel a genuine fear, but I'm not scared of the fear. And I'm looking at the wall, the thing falling off, and the fact that I'm like half naked, flung towards the bedroom door, and I'm like, yeah, this is a big one. So we just go straight downstairs, down to the stairs, and do the procedure. But in my mode, I'm perfectly okay with everything that's going on. So I'm not resisting any of the experience. You know, I'm able to process what's happening, and because the reason being, I'm feeling everything. I'm not feeling something. It's not about not feeling fear. Fear is genuinely there for the preservation of the body. Otherwise, you just go back to bed, and then the building falls and I die. Right? So it's a genuine prompt to action rather than a existential crisis. And this is very, very important to distinguish the difference between a genuine fear, which is a preservation of the body, and a existential fear, which is about the fear of fundamental death. So it's kind of like fearing the fear, which creates the experience of non-existence. But in that moment, the fear is pure adrenaline, prompt to action, and the ability for me to move. But there's nothing preventing me. I'm in perfect alertness. You know, I'm in ready for anything mode. I'm not in fight or flight. I'm in stay and play. So fight or flight means that you over hyperventilate, you have no control over your nervous system, and you're doing whatever it takes. There was an example of Diddy in his early days where he had a party and just invited, like, made it really, really popular or something, and then people flooded the doors. And they panicked, and instead of just calmly walking, everyone panicked and just crushed into each other to try and get out. So they didn't just wait and think, okay, let's just go single file. They panicked and just and it was, no, I need to go, I need to fight and flight. And 16 people died. Now, most people think, they should have not felt panic, or they should have, maybe not necessarily panic, but they shouldn't have felt adrenaline. They shouldn't have felt the fear, because if they were calm, then they wouldn't have felt any of that, and then they wouldn't have done those things. We need to disassociate feeling feelings with the absence of feelings being calm. Feeling the true peace and calmness, it doesn't come from not feeling things or not having the feelings. It comes from your capacity to be in complete coherence with those feelings and the external events without any disruption, without any resistance to it, without any trying to run from it. That's what creates panic. When you create panic, you lose control over the nervous system, and that's what actually causes the problems. So when you're in these modes, you will feel high excitation. Your job is not to try and meditate your way out of it, to try and get rid of it. Your job is to actually completely embrace it. This will change the relationship that you have with all of these things. So if you're in an argument or whatever it is, you're going to feel excitations. There's no problem with that. Excitations are, you could say, the inward expression of the external stimulus. Right? So it's okay to feel those things. What is your relationship to those things is the question. And that comes from a deep understanding of what you are, a deep grounded understanding of the nature of your mind. And the understanding of the nature of your mind is exactly what helps the nervous system process, because you could say that you're in your natural condition of surrender, which doesn't hold on to what's going on in the body. So if you're in any normal circumstance, right, you could be seeing all the sights of the room, you could be seeing the colors of the clouds and the water, but you don't give special attention to it. So when you're watching this video right now, you have all your peripheral vision around the phone or the whatever you're watching it on. Then you have the colors of the background behind me. And then you have my face, and then you have what you hear me say, and then you have what you feel, literally. What are you feeling when I say this? What are you sitting on? Do you feel the sensation of your bum on the chair? You have all these different stimulus, all these different stimuli. But notice that you don't give any particular importance to any of it, right? You might be listening, right? You might put importance to my words, but not super importance. Right? You're not giving more importance to the sound of my words than you are to the capacity for your heart and lungs to breathe. You are giving everything kind of equal importance, right? Or at least you're not giving super importance. When we give super importance to something, we're either running from it or putting it on a pedestal. And what happens is, if you put it on a pedestal, it will fall off. It's just inevitability, because you've put it on a place it doesn't belong. So if you're listening to my words, for example, and putting what I say on a pedestal, however you say it, people, again, there's another one of these things people comment about. I don't know if it's pedestal or pedestal. I think it's pedestal. If you put it on a pedestal, I'm just going to call it a pedestal. If you put it on a pedestal, it's going to fall off. And equally, if you don't want it to be there, you're running from it, right? If you're giving it super importance, you're either putting it on a pedestal or you're running away from it. And usually, we give super importance to the feelings that we feel. And either to the excited feelings, we give super importance to them and we put them on a pedestal and think that this is the source of my happiness. Or we have challenging emotions which aren't associated with the ones that we usually put on a pedestal, therefore the feelings fall off, and what we have left with is excitations that we find uncomfortable and we resist them. And when we resist them, we are running from them, and we're doing that because we're giving super importance to them. So notice, in any circumstance, not just in earthquakes or arguments or any circumstance, watching this YouTube video, notice if you put what I say on a pedestal or put me or anyone else on a pedestal, and notice when you feel something and you try to run away from it. It's because you're giving it some type of energy that has higher priority over anything else in your experience. So you're giving it more priority than the sensations of your bum on the chair, the sights of the room. You're giving it more fundamental, you're giving it fundamental importance. Like this is like higher than the other things or lower than the other things. In each instance, you have an agenda with it. And that agenda always is some form of avoidance. It will inevitably lead to suffering, or is suffering. So being calm and at peace in challenging moments is not about not feeling things. It's about to what capacity you can feel them. And the capacity you have to feel them is all down to your understanding of yourself and your ability to see what you are, to see that there is absolutely no individual in your experience that can actually hold on to things. And that what you are doesn't have a center. You are completely autonomous and free. You are pure. You are absolute. That absolute nature of your mind, usually we mistake that when we go into these forms of experiences because we've put them on a pedestal, or we've taken them off, or we're running from them. So you could say that it's about having complete neutral importance, giving significance to everything, but then obviously on an individual moment, giving more importance to that thing, but not super importance. If I'm reading a book, I give importance to the book at that moment, but I don't give it super importance, you see? I might really love the book, but super importance is different from just really loving the book. Because the minute I put the book down, I go and give everything else equal importance. So notice this mechanism for super importance, and notice on these minute-to-minute experiences where you are either prioritizing something on a higher level or under-prioritizing or wanting to remove something. Because your feelings, if they're uncomfortable and you feel like they're causing suffering, they're not suffering because they're uncomfortable. They're suffering because you want to get rid of them, which makes it a sense of suffering. That's what makes it clothed with suffering. So I have a free community, And if you'd like to join, I'd love to see you there. We're starting an academy soon for people who want to learn thought yoga, which will actually show you how to embody all of this that I'm sharing. For anyone interested, I'd love to see you there. Links in the description. Have an amazing day. Take care. Bye.